Well, hello everybody watching. My name is Fuller, aka the Jerry Bear. Today's date is Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I'm kind of flying solo today, right now anyway, but not all the way. Amy's napping over here. Dad went uptown. Um so this this has been a trying, challenging weekend. Hello Jax. And that boy Alex and Blade Williams, my buddy Blade. So there's a lot to talk about. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started right away. I'm not even going to go into a preamble or anything like that. I'm just going to jump right in. So yesterday was my stepdad's funeral at Racy Church and over here, down here. It was a quick service. I stood up in front of a crowd and had spoken in front of a few people, not a lot of people. It wasn't a big turnout like I thought it would be. Uh, but in any event, I stood up. I said a few kind words about my stepdad, how long I'd known him, some memories that I had with him, and that was pretty much it. Then we had a luncheon in the basement, and a lot of people approached me and said, "Hey, sorry for your loss," which I appreciated. You know, he was my stepdad for about 10 years, and he passed away unexpectedly on February 11th. And I'm still kind of having a kind of a hard time with that. I think I'm, just starting to accept the fact that he's gone. This was the card that they were handing out. James Michael Piper, October 31st, 62 to February 11th, 2026. He was 63 years old. He passed away unexpectedly at his home, and he was truly, he was a great person. He was a great guy. Uh, and I'm going to miss him a lot. So that was basically the crux of my Saturday. I went to my stepdad's funeral. Today, on the other hand, today's a different story because I, excuse me, I woke up to some messages on my phone this morning that my Facebook has been suspended. And not knowing how that happened, I I was kind of trying to log back in and trying to get in, and I appealed their decision to suspend my account. But as it turns out, they're not going to request it. They're not accepting the request. They're not going to look it over a second time. My Facebook is done. They permanently canceled my Meta Verified subscription. Be quiet, white boy. Stop. Stop huffing and puffing over there. But they canceled my Facebook, and they said, and this is what bugs me. This is what bugs me about Facebook so much. And I was really looking forward to connecting with some of you on Facebook if you had a Facebook. Uh, Turns out I'm not going to be doing that now because they had suspended my account and they had given a vague reason. And but this is what gets me. There were so many times on Facebook where I would report a page, excuse me, I would report a page, even an account that would be in clear and evident violation of Facebook's terms of service. Facebook would do nothing. Oh, it doesn't go against our community standards, when in fact it's online bullying, and when in fact it is sexually explicit, when in fact they were in violation of guidelines in every angle and every which direction you can imagine, but yet Facebook does nothing. This morning they said that the reason they canceled my or they suspended my Facebook was because of exploitation. Who and what am I exploiting? When did I exploit them? And where's the evidence showing that I was exploiting someone? Now, for those of you who actually are watching this and you were friends with me on Facebook, I shared a lot of updates on Cancer Warriors. I had 1,062 friends on Facebook. So I was kind of popular. I kind of had, I had a big audience. I had a big, you know, a lot of eyes looking at my Facebook. And the excuse I gave was that I was being exploitive or exploitative of children, when in fact I was sharing updates on the cancer kids. Now, I did request an appeal because it's just absolute bullshit. I don't exploit people's kids. And they said they weren't even going to consider it a second look. They weren't going to consider an appeal. They weren't going to do anything that actually meant doing anything worth a damn for the money that I was paying them every month, which, by the way, my Meta subscription was also canceled, which I'm fine with that because I am sick and tired of giving my money to a shit company that does nothing, especially when it matters the most. They want to nitpick and decide who and what should be suspended off of their platform. So, Mark Zuckerberg, fuck you. You won't get another dime from me, and I will never use your platform again. A lot of people are wondering if I'm coming back to Facebook. I'm not. That was the end of my run this morning. I am done giving my time and effort and energy to a platform and a company that doesn't do anything worth a damn when it matters the most. They will get another penny from me, more money for me every month. But it sucks because I had a lot of connections on Facebook, and everything I had done it was from the kindness of my heart. It was in the best interest of other people, and I tried to be of service to other people. I was sharing their GoFundMe and sharing updates and sharing everything I possibly could, whether the updates were good or bad. I shared them anyway, and then just out of the blue, I'm being cut off. Well, that's fine. You can have your precious, stupid fucking platform, which, by the way, I have reported more than enough where terms of service are clearly being violated and Facebook does nothing. So I am happy to be done with Facebook. I am no longer going to support a platform that doesn't do jack shit when it actually matters. And when you really want to talk to someone, you can't. There's no way of actually talking to someone at Facebook or Meta, although I paid for the service to fucking talk to someone. And some way, in some reason or another, I still couldn't. What the hell was I paying for then? Were they just snookering money out of me? I think that's what happened. Well, that's great. I don't want a piece of shit platform like Facebook anymore. And by the way, now that I don't have Facebook, I actually have more time to focus on life and doing what it is I want to do. So my days of Facebook, I think, really and truly are done. I'm not going back. Um, if I decide to start up with another platform, social media kind of platform, you guys will be the first to know. So if you see any accounts on any other platform besides Facebook, please report it because I, for one, did not sign up. And when I do, you guys will be the first to know. Did I tell you I broke my arm? I didn't. I didn't know. Shut up. I didn't know you broke your arm. Um, and I do apologize for the dogs. Every little fucking noise they hear, they think they got to bark and interrupt. So, and these dogs are very disruptive, very disruptive. Um, they're looking at the door and they're barking. So we're going to see what's going on outside. Um, but this has been a shit weekend and, um, I'm just over it. I'm over the bullshit. Okay, I'm looking at my surveillance cameras. There's no one outside. If I had to guess, it's probably the neighbors, excuse me. But no, Jax, I didn't know you broke your arm. I think it's next door. So here's what's up. If you're watching this from a desktop computer, not from your cell phone, not from, a tablet or anything else. If you are watching this from a laptop or a desktop computer, you can still keep in touch with me via email and you can uncover my email address. So you'll have to, go that route. if you want to directly contact me away from YouTube and such. I'm not on Facebook anymore. So, if you really and truly want to contact me directly about something, anything at all, so that way you're not conversing with me on an open public platform, you can uncover my email address and we can go from there. But my days with Facebook are done. I'm not going to keep playing this game where other people get away with doing shit that's obviously in violation, and then when I'm trying to do the right thing and trying to help people get the word out with GoFundMe and updates on cancer wars, things like that, then they wanna pin me or they wanna nail me with exploitation, which is bullshit. I don't exploit anybody. Never in my life, whether on or off the internet. I don't exploit anybody. And I'm really just fed up with the notion that I live in a world where when you try to do the right thing, there's always someone out there to tear it down. There's always someone out there to see the negative or to try to accuse you of doing something you actually didn't do. And so now I have to go through all my contacts of people that I have their numbers and text them and say, "Hey, I didn't block you. I didn't delete you. Facebook's just being a bitch." And so my account is gone permanently. So that is the news of today. I am no longer on any platform. But again, if you want to email me directly, and no one will see the emails, of course, but if you want to email me directly from a desktop computer or a laptop computer, you got to go to the homepage here on YouTube, and then you go up to where it says where the disclaimer is on the front, and then you kind of just scroll down, and then you click on view email address, and then you have to confirm that you're not a robot and all that good stuff, and then it'll uncover my email address and put your name in the subject line so I know that it's you. If it goes to spam, I'll still reply to it because I check my spam folder on occasion. If someone's an actual person's trying to contact me, it's going to go directly to spam and I may not see it. So put your name in the subject line if you want to reach out to me and we will have a conversation and we'll talk. Um, but my days on Facebook are, I think, are done as of this morning. I am not going back. I'm not giving my money to a platform and a company that doesn't do shit about shit. And then you have a CEO of a company who has to stand before Congress more times than I can count on both hands and toes. There's a problem with that. Facebook continues to be a problem and people continue to turn their head the other way. Maybe you will what? I'll give you a chance to respond, Alex. No reason to what? Um, but that's where I stand on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is a trash human being. Like I said, he's going up before Congress time and time and time again because the platform is absolute shit. They leave it to chat bots and AI and all this other bullshit that doesn't mean anything at all. There you don't actually get to speak to an actual human being. And it's awful. So I am happy to not be giving my money to this company anymore. And and here's the verbiage on that message I received. They said that I multiple violations. So if there are multiple violations, why didn't they say something about it prior? Why did they wait until February 22nd, 2026 to send me the message to tell me that I was in violation of their community guidelines? Why did they wait so long? This is what I don't understand. And again, like I said, Facebook is stupid about shit like this. And the people who are running it are even fucking dumber. Alex, what did you mean by that? You said maybe I will, but there probably is no reason to. What did you mean by that? I personally, um, I can text people, they can FaceTime me, we can have the connections and conversations, but my time on Facebook is, I guess, is no more. I'm done. I'm done trying to stay on there without the stupidity of, God, you're gonna walk on eggshells, you gotta watch what you say all the time, and it's just absolute fucking nonsense, and I'm just done dealing with it. Message or email? Okay. And what do you mean there is no reason to? What if I'm not here for a week? What if you wanna talk to me, on any other day besides Sunday? Wouldn't you wanna reach out? Um, that's why I have an email address, so you can reach out, and you don't have to wait until Sunday to talk to me. That was the point. Because that will probably be as close to social media as I'm gonna get with a lot of you because, Facebook, like I said, is just absolute fucking garbage. It is a nightmare platform, and they don't do a goddamn thing to do better, to improve it. And I'm really upset about it. I'm upset because I had lots of connections. Like I said, I had 1,062 friends. That's a lot of people. Um, my Facebook reached a big audience, a big crowd, and now it's gone. Just out of the blue, just gone. So I'm upset about that. I'm really upset about it. But I can say with confidence that I still have my YouTube. I still have this channel. Um, and I've been pretty okay with, staying within the rules. I think I might have, been in violation maybe once or twice in the 10 years that I've had this channel. But uh for the most part, by and large, I think I've been on YouTube's good side with this channel. Although the people who come on here tend to think that I'm just some kind of a creep or some kind of a jerk. Uh But I'm not a jerk unless I'm provoked, and then you'll get that. That's fair. I'll probably message you if you don't show up one week. Well, anytime at all, Alex, you can message me anytime at all. That's fine. We can chat anytime. Um, I have a Discord, but I don't really use Discord a lot. Let me see if I can provide a link to Discord uh, in my chat here. Because I don't know exactly how many of you use Discord. So I'm going to just take a shot in the dark here. I, uh, if you use Discord, cool. I don't think you're a creep, but it's fair if you get mad at them. Well, thank you, Alex. I try to be good to everybody, like I said, but when I'm being provoked, you can't poke a tiger and not expect to get bitten or lunged at. I'm gonna log into my Discord right now. So be patient with me here. I'm gonna try to get a link for you. Okay, an email. You got mail. Yes, I still use AOL Mail. If that's any inclination of my web domain, verify login. It says I'm in Detroit, but I'm not in Detroit. We're just gonna verify it anyway. There. So now I'm on Discord, and let's see here. I don't use Discord a lot because I'm not really in tune with Discord, but I will see I will see if maybe I can get a link because I'm not really sure. Let's see here. General. So I hope I'm doing this right, and I apologize if I'm not. I'm just trying to because I never know. I never know, and there's not even there's nowhere to copy the link. Server settings. Uh, audit log, delete server. It doesn't say. it just says Discord channel. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a link in the chat for my Discord. And if it takes you to my Discord, I will add you. So the link is in the chat. Click on that, check it out. I'm not sure if it's going to, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, so I don't want to delete my server. Okay, escape. There we go. Because you guys are more apt to this technology than I am. I don't use Discord a lot. I'm on there on occasion. Every once in a while, you might see me pop in and I'll say, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" or whatever. But I'm mainly on YouTube now that I don't have Facebook anymore. I will likely be on YouTube a lot more. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But it really sucks because I had all these connections and I really wanted to. Uh, I wanted to help people, and I was helping people, and Facebook was probably the best tool that I had in order to connect with people and to help people. And as it turns out, they've taken that away from me for some shit that I didn't even know I did that they've got me on. But exactly uh what exactly did I do? When and where did I do it? And they won't give they won't provide specifics on how I was in violation. So that kind of just leaves everything up in the air, you know. I can believe Facebook did it. I can believe it. I can believe a lot of things about Facebook because like I said, after having reported multiple pages and accounts containing content that is inappropriate and clearly violates the terms of service, and Facebook does nothing. So I can believe that they would do something like this to me. They would pull this kind of crap. Um, and like I said, I was paying $15.89 a month for Meta Verified, and what the fuck good was it? I couldn't talk to anybody. I tried to talk directly to someone, and instead I get a runaround. Well, we have chat, the AI bots and this, that, and the other. I don't want a fucking AI bot. I want to talk to someone directly at Meta. And they wouldn't even give me that. So it's like, why am I paying you fuckers all this money every month when you're not going to provide the services that you said would be available? Seems like false advertisement. Seems like I'd have a court case, but Zuckerberg is in trouble constantly with Facebook, and I'm shocked that the United States government doesn't shut Facebook down. It would actually be the best thing that ever happened to humanity is if Facebook went away. Knowing that they are as lazy and just, they're just lazy. They're lazy and irresponsible in their practices. I mean, there were former employees of Facebook who actually went public and said, they make it addictive on purpose so that way it'll suck up all your time, which in fact, Facebook does suck up a lot of my time, all my time, every day. Um, I still I write journals. For those of you who didn't know, I've been keeping a journal since I was 13 years old, and I'm going to be 40 here in July, and I still write journals. I used to do that. Then I discovered Facebook, where I was actually connecting with familiar faces and people I knew, and making new friendships and creating new bonds. And it would take all of my time. And so I got lost in it. I got lost in Facebook because it's like, hey, I'm actually speaking and people are actually paying attention. People are actually listening. And not saying they don't hear, but on Facebook, I had 1,062 connections. So, and one of those connections was my mom. And now I'm never going to get that back, which really hurts, which really hurts because I can no longer post on my mom's Facebook. I can't because my mom passed away here in 2023. I can no longer, say what I want to say, post pictures. I can't do it because of Facebook's lazy fucking practices and saying that I was in violation when in fact they're not even demonstrating where, how, and when I was in violation, which makes it worse. And then, well, we're not going to refund you. You know what? Fuck you. I don't want to give you any more of my money anyway. You don't deserve it. I'm so sick and tired of going through all these fucking loops over and over again. You try to do something nice, you try to provide a little bit of positivity and comfort in someone's life, and this is the things you get. They don't they I guess it's frowned upon. They don't want you to be a good person because if it's not approved by them, it's not going to matter. Fine. I still have YouTube and here's the thing too. I can actually say that I can upload content on this channel, which absolutely works out fine because as long as I'm not in violation of these community standards, then everything's good, or at least I would think. But I'm not going to hold my hand on my butt because it just might grow there. But at least you still have YouTube. I can still come on YouTube. I can still talk to you guys and chat, and I can still carry on and do what I'm doing here. But it's not the same thing because not everybody has YouTube. Not all my connections on Facebook had a YouTube. And what makes it worse is also a lot of the people I was connected with, we never got to know each other long enough to be exchanging numbers and such, phone numbers, email addresses, things like that. So that makes it really difficult. And I am someone who is easily attached, especially to families whose children are going through some really unspeakable things. And I got to tell you, it's really awful. It's really awful that I don't have that anymore. And thanks to Facebook. But, I still have a lot of physical mailing addresses. I still have a lot of people I can write to. Their kids are happy to get letters from me. And I will still continue to do my thing. And I can do it without Facebook. There are ways of doing things without Facebook. But I'm really just upset at the notion that after 3 years, Facebook is going to pull this shit. But I'm still an advocate for cures. I'm still going to raise awareness in every way I can, even if I have to use YouTube to do it. I'm going to do it. So, and yesterday, I'm I'm a half hour into my live stream, and I didn't mention this. Yesterday was 37 years to the day that I was initially hospitalized with symptoms which led to my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. So, in other words, yesterday was 37 years it was 37 years to the day that my parents had taken me to the hospital because I had high fevers and a bulged stomach, and my belly button stuck off my stomach by about a half inch. And my parents took me to the hospital in Owasso at Memorial. And so after they ran some tests, I found out a little over a week later that it was Wilms tumor. And then my treatment started in Lansing at Sparrow Hospital. And see, you guys do this shit all the time. Every time, I don't know, it's like they know when I'm sitting down and doing my live stream. Then they come to me, oh, can you let me out, human? Can you let me out? Well, now you're just going to have to wait. Now you're just going to have to wait unless it's really, really urgent. And then I have to step away to let the dog out. But yeah, yesterday was also 37 years to the day that I was initially hospitalized, which is weird because I was at the church for my stepdad for Jimmy's funeral. And that very church let my parents use the van for reliable transportation back and forth to Lansing because my dad was working at the time. And between my mom and dad, there was never a time when I didn't have one or both parents with me. Like they were always there. And I found out that back in the 80s, in 1989, when I battled Wilms, there actually was no Ronald McDonald House in Lansing anywhere. So it's like, really? I thought there was a Ronald McDonald House in Lansing back in the day. There wasn't. So I found that to be really, um, I don't know. It's like, well, that kind of just changes the outlook because my mom told me that they were offered a spot at Ronald McDonald House, but Ronald McDonald House wasn't in Lansing back then. So maybe some information got mixed up along the way, but um, I don't know. I still had Wilms tumor. Either way, I still battled Wilms tumor. But this has been an absolute shitty fucking weekend, to say the least. And I'm upset because Facebook would pull this shit with me, although I could have expected it at some point and I was prepared for it. Because it seems like no matter what I do, it's like I'm always in violation of something or another. I'm always in violation of something. It doesn't matter what. Even when I'm not, even when I'm trying to be the good person, and even when I'm not, I am just the thing about Facebook that sucks is that you're constantly walking on eggshells all the time. Well, am I going to violate the terms of service here? Am I going to do this wrong? Am I going to say this wrong or do that wrong or offend this person, offend that person? Fuck all that. I'm over it. I'm kind of glad that it happened, but then I'm sad that it happened because I was connected with a lot of people. And I just wish they would have at least showed me where I was in violation of the community guidelines because that's really fucking low of Facebook to do that. But I'm gonna, suck it up and try to make the best of a not so nice situation. And my question is again, if that's actually it's my dad's Facebook that you heard. Um that's my dad's Facebook that you heard. He forgot to sign out. So uh I will definitely sign out of this. Let's see here. Yeah, it's really shitty, Alex. It really is. Especially how you've been paying them for the past 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't pay them for the full 3 years. I was meta verified, I think in the year after I had this Facebook account. But either way, what's even shittier is the fact that they are so vague in their responses and everything is pre-written. And well, we are not going to reinstate it because you're in multiple violations, and they don't bother to express exactly where, how, and when you're in violation of their standards. But yet there are people on there right now, and I guarantee it, there are people on there right now who are posting content that would absolutely violate their standards, and it's being allowed. Are you able to call them? No. No, there is no number. There is no number for me to call them. I have tried to email them. I have looked everywhere. There is no way to contact someone directly at Meta. he it's just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad and I'm really pissed and I wish something else further could be done for them to reverse their decision. They just won't reverse their situation. They won't reverse their decision rather, not situation. Um, but I'm baffled at their decision. Yeah, that was my dad's, Facebook. So, no, I'm not on Facebook, he just forgot to sign out. Because he gets on my computer and he'll update everybody on what's going on, and so, he just forgot to sign out, that's okay. But, yeah, I social media is the death of humanity. I'm gonna say it. It is just the absolute kiss of death on society. I made that statement. I made that proclamation back in 2004 when Facebook before it even launched. They announced I remember that they announced when it was gonna be launched, but I knew it when I heard about it, I knew that social media was going to be the kiss of death on humanity, and it proves my point over and over and over again. And when I really get to talking to people and I'm really getting to know people and building a bond and a friendship and sharing our experiences, and then the next thing I know, I'm being banned because of some shit that they said I did, which they can't demonstrate I even did. So, much like YouTube, that's happened to me once or twice where they said I was in violation of community guidelines and then never bothered to show me exactly where I was in violation. That's what happened with All Things Jared. They said that there were multiple violations when in fact they never showed me what those violations were. They never listed the violations. Now, if you're going to accuse me of something, I would at least expect you to back it up with proof, with evidence showing where I was wrong. But this, the internet is just such a weird fucking place. It really is. It is, it is the alternate reality. We record reality. We document our lives. Once you're on the internet, you're here. But we document our lives. The things that we love, the things that we enjoy. We share our lives, we share details, we share everything with each other. And when there's like family reunions coming up, which there is, we want to keep everybody informed. Family reunions are still a thing. Although, again, social media has kind of divvied that down because it's like, well, why are we going out to meet people when we can just stay connected on social media? Because it's not the same thing as being connected with someone. You can reach out to anybody as long as they don't have you blocked. You can reach out to pretty much anybody and form a friendship, a bond, a connection. But after that, it's when we're out in the real world, no one knows how to respond to each other because we're all, in this big cloud of social media fog. We don't it's like, where's people skills? When you're interacting with people and you're talking to people and you're carrying a conversation, you look at a person right in the eyes when they're speaking to you, or when you're speaking to them, there's that communication when you're looking in each other's eyes. We don't have that. Now we just have, let's look into our screen. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it, absolutely. But what I'm not guilty of are the things that people have said I've done over the years and the things that Facebook is accusing me of doing, and I'm tired of trying to I'm tired of it's like every time I try to do the good thing, the right thing, and I try to be good to everybody, and I give everyone a fair shake and a fair bite, I'm the one who ends up being the bad guy, and I'm really just fucking annoyed with the whole thing. I've talked about that already. Jared, just wondering, do you have a job? I did have a job. Were you not here when I talked about my horrible experience at Walmart? Because that's a horror story. Um, but I back to what I was saying. I'm upset because of the shit that Facebook pulled. I'm really upset about it, and I wish they would do better when it comes to the general public. And obviously, um, Mark Zuckerberg isn't being spanked enough by Congress, and they're not whipping him into shape like they should be, and getting him to, uh, be more specific on things and to make sure that it's a safe platform, because there are still people on there. I guarantee it. There are people on there who are uploading content that is inappropriate and clearly violates the terms of service, but they let them continue to upload. I wasn't there. Can you explain it again, or another day? I worked at Walmart and I just got fed up. So I walked away. That's the story. Uh, but um, where do I go from here? Well, I still have Discord. I still have YouTube. I still have my email. And if you want to text me, like I said, if you email me, I can give you that information if you want to text me or FaceTime or whatever, which is fine. Um, but it's almost at a point now where if you see me on YouTube, then you'll know who I am. If you see me in public, then you'll say, "Oh, that's Jared. That's Jared Bear. That's the guy who's on YouTube and he does a Sunday video update every week." And yeah, yeah, that's me, the guy from Chesaning, Michigan. Which, by the way, Google AI continues to say that my hometown is anywhere but in Chesaning, and I'm just fucking annoyed with that. It's like, if you're gonna if you're gonna put information out there about me, make sure it's correct, make sure it's accurate, because I'm not from Kalamazoo. I am not from Detroit. I'm not from Grand Rapids. I am not from anywhere other than where I say I'm from. So we have a new person in chat. I don't know how to say your name, but I'll just say hello. And if behave yourself in my chat, and if you're here to troll, you'll be gone. But if you want to come in and say hello and carry on conversation, cool. I don't have a problem with that. Um, your name is Wayne. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. So we'll see where that goes. I'm gonna let you give yourself enough rope to potentially hang yourself. You're claiming that your name is Wayne. So go ahead. Say whatever you got to say, because this is going to go one way or the other. Have I heard about Prince Andrew? Yes. Yes, I did. What a piece of shit. What are these streams about? Good question. Well, if you're new here, which you are, because you might be new here. I don't recognize your name here. So basically, I'm talking about the week in review. That's what my Sunday video updates are about. This was an extra avenue for people from my Facebook to come and actually hear me speak, and to give my organic thoughts and feelings on events that have happened and things that go on in my life in the past week, because usually I'm just talking about the week in review. Most of the time, mainly it's about my week in review. And I just come on here and talk for about an hour, and I'm here from 3 until 4 every Sunday, unless something comes up, and then I say, "Hey, I'm calling it off this week." And so I'll see you like in a week or two or whatever. Um, but yes, I did hear about Prince Andrew, and what a piece of shit he is. So what's your story there? The guy with the David Bowie Avatar. By the way, I like Bowie. I like David Bowie. His music was just phenomenal. So that might be one thing we have in common right off the bat because I like David Bowie. But so for the rest of the week, I don't know what's going to happen now. Tonight, the Fox Sunday Flashback will be on the air on 103.9 The Fox, but Dan Richards won't be hosting. Dan Richards is currently on a Caribbean cruise, and he won't be back until I think the week after next. So he'll be back on March 8th. Jared, what's the Walmart horror story? I wasn't here when you said it. They're just a shit company to work for. I will never work for them again. Uh, there's more chiefs than Indians, meaning that there's more. You have coworkers who think they can tell you what to do, and they think they can boss you around and give orders when they are not in any position to be giving orders. And then you have the actual bosses who will align with what the customers, or not customers, I'm sorry, what the other employees are saying, in which I look at them and I say, look, you're the boss. They're not. If you want me to do something, you tell me, not these guys over here. They're not in charge. And it's a excuse me, it's a mishmash of bullshit working at Walmart. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I was making $15.50 an hour, but no, I had my share. I was actually going to look into getting a part-time job at another a local grocery chain. It is Michigan based, and there are stores all over Michigan and I think in Ohio and Indiana. When did you work at Walmart? Back in September. What am I talking to like a tax professional here? Cuz you're asking a lot of questions. No, I worked at Walmart back in September. And I was there for like maybe 17 days. I tolerated their bullshit for over 2 weeks. Uh but no, you're good, Alex. I was just kidding around. No, I worked at Walmart for about a total of 17 days. And it was the longest 17 days of my life because they don't care about their employees. Walmart does not give a shit. You're just a number. You work under corporate America. Now, Sam Walton, the guy who founded Walmart and Sam's Club, when he passed away, his children sold their shares to Wall Street. And then from there, it's a shit show working at Walmart. They don't care about their employees. They sold out to Wall Street. So if you get a job at Walmart, just know that they don't give a fuck about you or your well-being, and you are just a number to them. That's all you are. You're just a number. The other store I'm looking at, maybe not. I haven't worked there yet, so I can't say much, and I don't want to give away the name of the store, but I haven't really heard a lot of bad things about this other store. But I guess I won't find out until I actually apply for a position. And if I do get the position, I would like to be a cashier because everything is done by computers, everybody knows, and cash registers are pretty much computerized instruments where all you gotta do is scan the barcode, hit subtotal, pretty easy until people start to pay with check or credit card or debit card or EBT, and then you gotta go through the motions and a lot of the stuff like produce, they're not going to have barcodes, so you're going to have to actually punch in the PLU manually to get it to come up on the register. So there's a few things to know, but it doesn't sound like it's like labor intensive. Uh, it's I think it would be a fairly easy job, but I'm going to look into it and get a part time position. So I haven't heard from back from this person with the Bowie uh avatar. He just said his name was Wayne, which I find coincidental, and I don't know if they're just fucking with me or if their name is actually Wayne. Either way, I couldn't care what their name is, but if they come in here acting foolish and trolling and saying things that are not true and just being ignorant, they're not gonna have another chance after that. But I don't wanna, go to that conclusion because this I can't even read that. It's GIYGAS_53TUSS. I can't even read that. So is it something? It looks like it says fetus. That's what it looks like it says because it's like the three is acting as an E. Right, right. Yeah, that's right, Alex. So it's something fetus. GYIGAS_F3TUSS. Whoever it is, I don't know. They say their name's Wayne. Um, kind of shady when I ask a question and then they don't respond. So, uh, guy with the Bowie avatar, if you're still in my chat, you could, you know, answer my question. I'm trying to carry on conversation and I'm being polite about it, so please just answer my question and don't lie because if you're lying, I'll catch on right away. So, one more thing I wanted to talk about because we're already at the bottom of the hour here. We're coming up to 4 o'clock, or is it top of the hour? I think the top of the hour is would be at 4 o'clock. That'd be the top. So we're at the bottom of the 3 o'clock hour. It's winding down, so I guess it would be the bottom of the hour. Whatever, you know what I mean. So, I lost my ink pen. So, last week I mentioned something about how I reached out to my cousin and she said she didn't like me. Well, one of my other cousins had actually messaged me a video when I still had Facebook. And it was a clip of me here at my computer saying what I said about my cousin. And and I was polite to my cousin. All I said, "Hey, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you in a while." And they said, "Well, it's going to be longer because I don't like you." And then I came here on Facebook and brought it up, and I said, "Well, you can fuck off, family or not, piss off." Well, one of my other cousins had messaged me a video, and I like the little fancy color designs that they used, and they had cut that portion of my live stream just to make a cute little whimsical video where I'm telling my cousin to go fuck herself. Uh, they put in so much time and energy into things that don't matter, and I'm amazed that I am so important and special enough to them that they would do that. That they would actually go out of their way to design a fancy, cutesy smutsy little video where I'm telling them to fuck off. And they have like flashing blue and red or blue and yellow or some shit. I don't even remember what the video is, to be honest. But it was like an oval shape and it's like I don't care. I laughed at it. It's funny that people go out of their way, but at least I know they're watching, and at least I know they're paying attention. It must be big news, to tell a family member to fuck off. But here's the thing, and I've said this before too. Relatives are relatives. They're family when they act like it. So I have more relatives than family. I can actually say that with 100% certainty that I have more relatives than family by far. And they can keep chopping bits and pieces out of my live streams, and they can make this into whatever narrative they want to spin it into. But when I'm being nice to people and I'm just merely saying, "Hey, cuz, how's it going? Haven't talked to you in a while," and they say, "Fuck you" to me, or "I don't want to talk to you" to me, then I'll be better at it by saying, "Fuck you," and don't ever reach out to me again, or in some fashion or form or another. Uh, Relative or not, I don't put up with that. When I'm being nice to you and I'm being disrespected, yeah, fuck you. And I'll say it again this week. I won't stop being nice and I won't stop trying to do what I think is right, despite the fact that Facebook had made the stupid decision they made. And I'm still, and I shouldn't, but I still hold out hope that maybe they might reverse the decision. But if they don't, then I'm okay with that, because I don't want to continue to give my money to a company that doesn't truly do shit about anything. And Zuckerberg has been proverbially turned over the knee of Congress, I don't know how many times, and taken a spanking for stupid shit that he allows on the platform. And I don't want to give my money to a company that doesn't truly give a fuck about the well being of people, although they claim to. And they take their community guidelines very seriously. Well, there are people who were banned from that platform for reasons that shouldn't have even been, uh, you know, it shouldn't have carried any kind of penalty that would result in them being terminated or suspended or what have you from the platform. A friend of mine was just telling me a few minutes ago that her dad was actually banned from Facebook because he was a preacher of a specific religion. And let's see here. I'm an atheist, by the way, so I don't subscribe to any religion. Um, let's see here. A Native American Christian pastor. That's why that was the reason this person gave. I'm not going to give the name of the person who told me, but um, in any event, it's just a shame that we can't do things in this world anymore without being belittled or badgered or shredded, or and it almost makes you not want to do shit anymore. It almost makes you just not want to do anything. Now, the argument can be made where people are like, "Well, Jared, you're telling, advocates of childhood cancer that they should just stop doing it." Well, that only applies to the people who are outsiders and they are here specifically to make a name for themselves at the expense of children. That's the point I make. Me as a survivor, I'm always going to talk about what I've been through. I'm going to share my story. If I have to reissue video after video after video after video, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to get the message out there loud and clear to as many people as I can that I am a childhood cancer survivor. I had Wilms tumor. I've been a survivor. I'm coming up on 37 years. I feel great today, other than the fact that I'm stressed about a lot of shit, but that's typical adult territory. You're going to be stressed about things that you shouldn't really even be stressed about. But um, this is the adult life. You can't do anything nowadays without being called a pedophile, a creep, a predator. Uh, you can't do anything positive, especially for children, without being called a creep or a perv or whatever. It never used to be like this. It never used to be anywhere in the realm of possibility that anybody who is doing something for the better good of humanity, especially for kids, they're being called creeps. So what do we say that about educators? Do we say that about firefighters? Do we say this about medical people in the medical field who work in pediatrics? Do they have an ulterior motive just to be close to kids. That seems to be the mentality of the world we're in. That anytime you do something nice, especially for kids, it's frowned upon. Oh, you're a creep and you're this and you're that. It's so old and boring and stupid. If someone's really and truly abusing children, report it and have your evidence readily available. If you can prove it without a shadow of a doubt, prove it. But don't just say something about someone to see if it'll stick, because people they are so dumbed down nowadays. Social media is to blame for it, which is another reason why I'm kind of relieved that I'm not on Facebook now. It's kind of a relief, but I'm kind of pissed. And I'm sure I'll get over being mad about it. But I'm really upset at the fact that I live in a world where you cannot do anything for a kid unless someone thinks there's some kind of ulterior motive. I was a kid when I lived through cancer. I only know about childhood cancer. I had to learn about strength and courage and determination and bravery when I was a child, going through the things I had gone through. And I can't speak on anything else. I can't speak on behalf of adult cancer, teen cancer. I can't speak on behalf of any of this because I didn't experience it at those ages. I experienced it as a child, as a toddler. Hey, Pop. I'm just getting ready to wrap up here. But though I experienced these things when I was a toddler, when I was a child, and I can only talk about that and relate to that. So you missed an interesting show today, Pop. I'm still live on YouTube, but I was talking about what happened on with my Facebook. And again, they said that I had multiple violations. And my question is, if I had multiple violations, why didn't they do something about it before? And what were those violations? Why do they wait until February 22nd, 2026 to finally say, we, suspended your account, we've disabled your account, and because there's multiple violations? What were those multiple violations and why did you wait so long? I'm actually glad that I'm not giving my money to a company that doesn't give a fuck. It's more money in my pocket that I can use for whatever I choose. It's like $16 extra a month that I'm saving by not having Facebook. I don't know if I'm coming back to Facebook. I doubt that's going to be my last run unless I give it one last shot, which I highly doubt I will, because I'm going to get back to life and living and writing in my journal. I'll probably upload more videos to YouTube now that I've got the extra time. But don't give up hope. Email me. You have to use a desktop computer or a laptop to uncover my email address in the About tab section of my YouTube channel here. You can't do it from a phone because for some reason it doesn't do it on a phone or a tablet, I don't think. But email me, reach out to me, and let's talk. Let's have the conversations, and let's make sure that we're doing things for the right reasons instead of, just because you're mad at somebody, you get your revenge on them. That's not the way to do things. But anyway, I'm still out here. I'm still alive. I'm still doing my thing. I'm not on Facebook anymore. That ended this morning. And that's okay. That's all right. I'm sure if people are really interested, they will take the extra steps to want to reach out to me and to ask me how I'm doing, or if they want to text me or call me or whatever. Because I'm exhausted. But anyway, this concludes this week's Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I'll be back again next week, which is, I believe, March 1st, isn't it? Yeah, March 1st. Already. I love you guys. And Alex, I'll hopefully I'll be talking to you soon. Jax, the greatest of all time, Jax, I love you, buddy. Hope you're well. Blade Williams in chat, I saw you. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. And if you email me between now and next week, we'll talk then. So just take care of yourselves out there. And even if people want to say horrible things about you, just keep doing the right thing. Do what you feel in your heart. And, you know, just do what you want to do, and do it with good intentions. I'll see you next week with dignity. Yes. We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.